A round of applause for these guys. You know, tonight is a special night. I have the opportunity to introduce to you a friend of mine who's created so much energy, so much hope, so much excitement that no introduction can match what many of us are feeling right now tonight. When I look across this great room, I don't just see local leaders, community anchors, labor leaders, trusted voices. I see a room of doers, people of all walks of life who do things for others, lives of service. I see doers that are here tonight in coalition because together we are all connected to a better future, not only for the Illinois 4th Congressional District, but also for this great nation. That better future starts tonight with Chris Getty. Chris Getty has shown me, please. Chris has shown me this commitment to service since the first day I met him 15 years ago. He's rooted in this district, a homegrown leader, and he has proven time and time and time again to be accessible, practical, and fair. Since he was 26, he's held elective office in executive roles, including as a mayor and a township supervisor. As mayor, he labored to improve the quality of life in his town, and as supervisor, he worked to provide services to the region's residents. When Washington, D.C. has failed to get critical funds to Illinois, he has felt it, he has learned from it, and he is ready to act. Chris knows that the Illinois 4th has communities worth defending, families worth serving, and standards worth raising. He is focused on all of us. To run as an independent, being an independent means it's hard to label a man like Chris Getty. He's not left, he's not to the right, but he is forward thinking. He has never been about political noise, but he's always been about results. He's a person who's dedicated to service and believes in governing. Now, some people have told him to wait. It's not his turn. But the work that Chris Getty wants to achieve, it cannot wait. Now, the window is open. This climb has been a challenge. He worked to gather the signatures to get on the ballot, giving us all a choice when others didn't give us a chance. Chris is also grounded in reality. To him, representative leadership, it's not just a duty. It's way beyond the performance politicians that we see today. And I should know. Chris has been there in my own family's life for over 15 years. As a friend, trusted advisor, my insurer, and now as a colleague at the West Central Municipal Conference, where I observed firsthand his knowledge of the region, his leadership skills, and most importantly, his ability to work with others. He's now on the ballot. Now, right now, we need each of you to be at our table, to lend your voice, your talents, your treasure, to help us all carry him to Washington, D.C. Are you with me? Are you with me? It is my great honor to introduce the Supervisor of the Township of Lyons, the mayor of his hometown, and our next congressman. I present to you Chris Getty.
Thank you, Brian. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you all so much for being here. Look around for a moment. This is what people said couldn't happen. They said an independent campaign couldn't get organized. They said collecting the signatures to get on the ballot was a near impossible task. Some said the election was already decided. But they were wrong, because a few days ago, this campaign filed nearly 20,000 signatures to get on the ballot for the United States Congress. That's not just a number. That's thousands and thousands of people across this district stepping up and saying, enough is enough. Enough with the politics as usual. Enough with being told our voices don't matter. Enough with a Congress that spends more time fighting on TV than fighting for the families of this district. Enough with politicians who know how to put on a performance, know how to get attention, but don't know how to deliver real results. That's why the signatures mean something. They mean this district and our communities are ready. The people who go to work every day, raise families, run small businesses, pay taxes, and keep our communities going, they're ready for a government that works as hard as they do.
Yeah!
And that, my friends, is why I'm running for Congress. I'm not running because I think Washington needs one more politician with a talking point. I'm running because Washington has forgotten who it works for. It doesn't work for a specific party. It doesn't work for the loudest voices on TV. It doesn't work for the insiders who think congressional seats are theirs to hand down. This seat belongs to the people of this district. It belongs to the families in Cicero and Berwyn. It belongs to the workers in Brighton Park and Pilsen. It belongs to the homeowners in Brookfield and Burbank and the small business owners in Lyons. It belongs to the students, the seniors, the veterans, first responders, and our neighbors who still believe public office is supposed to be earned. What we learned when knocking on doors and talking to the residents is people are tired. They're tired of two parties constantly trying to drag this country to the extreme. They're tired of being told they have to hate their neighbor because their neighbor thinks differently. They're tired of the do-nothing politicians who create drama, stir up fear, pick a fight, then send a fundraising email, and they call it leadership. That's not leadership, that's soap opera politics. And I don't know about you, but I think people have had enough of the politicians trying to suck us into their drama while the families are being left behind. While these politicians are fighting for the cameras, our rent is still going up, groceries are still too expensive, good jobs are still hard to find, our immigration system is broken, our communities are still waiting for better infrastructure, stronger schools, a government that can do the basic job of listening to the people and solving problems. And here's the truth. Most people do not live in the extreme. Most people are practical and fair-minded. Most people want secure borders and a humane immigration system. Most people want to support workers and help small businesses grow. Most people want safe communities and to respect people's rights. Most people want a government to be responsible with tax dollars and serious about helping families get ahead. Most people are not asking for a circus at the federal level. They're asking for competence. They're asking for honesty. They're asking for real results. That's what this campaign is about. Not left, not right, but forward. I've spent the last 17 years as the mayor of the Village of Lyons, proving that government can work when leaders stop trying to divide people and start bringing them together. When I first ran for mayor of Lyons, our community was divided. Politics had become toxic. People were tired of the fighting. They wanted stability. They wanted basic services. They wanted someone to listen, someone to show up, and someone to get things done. And that is what we did. We brought people together. We restored stability. We focused on public safety, services, and results that people could feel in their everyday lives. I learned something in Lyons that Washington desperately needs to remember. When you focus on collaboration instead of conflict, progress is possible. That's how I governed as mayor. That's how I've served as Lyons Township Supervisor. And that is exactly the approach I will bring to the United States Congress.
There you go.
Congress does not need more people who know how to play the game. Congress needs people who know how to lead. We need people who understand what federal policy looks like when it hits the ground, when it reaches a family trying to pay rent, a small business trying to keep the doors open, or a community trying to move forward. I know those people because those are my neighbors. I hear from them every day. I grew up in this district. I run a business here. I'm raising my daughter here. This is home. And when I go to Washington, I won't need a consultant to tell me what our district needs. I will bring the voices of this district with me. And we don't have to come from the same party to agree that government should work for the people. We don't have to share every opinion to agree that workers deserve opportunity, taxpayers deserve respect, and communities deserve results. We don't have to agree on every issue, but we need to agree on this. Failure is no longer acceptable. That's the movement we're building. A movement broad enough to win and serious enough to govern. A movement of builders, a movement of doers, a movement of people who are ready to turn frustration into action. And tonight, I'm asking you to help carry this work, because filing those petitions was not the finish line. It was the starting line. Now we have to build a campaign that can win. We need to knock on doors in every neighborhood. We need to make phone calls. We need to host conversations in living rooms, union halls, small businesses, and backyards. We need resources to communicate with voters across this district and to tell them the truth, that we have a real choice in this election. They don't have to settle for the machine. They don't have to settle for the extremes. They don't have to settle for an inexperienced and unknown representative. They can choose real representation. They can choose proven results. They can choose a congressman who is accountable to them. That's what your support makes possible. Every dollar helps us reach another voter. Every volunteer helps us open another door. Every conversation helps us build trust. Every person in this room has a role to play. You don't have to do everything, but I'm asking you to do something. Because this is not someone else's work. This is our work. This is our district, and this is our moment. And I believe with everything in me that we will win this race. Not because it will be easy, not because the machine will step aside. We will win because the people are ready. Ready for someone who has proven that results matter. Ready for someone who will bring people together instead of tearing them apart. Ready for a government that remembers who it works for.
There you go.
So tonight, here's my promise to you for this campaign. We're not here to put on a show. We're here to build. We're not here to complain. We're here to fix what's broken. We're not here to watch history happen. We're here to make it. The future of this district will not be decided by Chuy Garcia. It will be decided by the people who show up, step forward, and do the work. And for the nearly 20,000 people who signed our petitions, to every person in this room tonight, to every single voter across this district who is ready for something better, our message is simple. This seat belongs to the people. This campaign belongs to the people. And our time is now. So thank you, everybody. God bless.